welcome to the Road Cheater Project. It is Road Cheater Boy. We are back for another episode, pushing forward
Do
anime,
me a
hip-hop,
favor.
R&B, comics,
Pick
music,
me up,
life,
take me
love,
out
all of the
later.
above. But mainly, what we're here for, this is two
Don't
episodes
worry,
to push
you'll
forward
write no
with
paper.
the Prince of All Saiyans, our man
'Cause I
Vegeta.
got
We're getting
my
close to the end of Vegeta. I think we only got one more episode left of Vegeta, so here we are. But we find ourselves in a real dark spot with Vegeta, as promised. We have now passed the glory days of this man as far as the first 6 seasons is concerned, and now we're at a pretty tough spot with Vegeta, and it's hard to really put out there wholly what potentially Vegeta was going through at this moment, but one could probably get pretty close. And so um, we gave Vegeta a lot of flack for, initially in I think what is his formative years, that we kind of label those the dark years. You can't really feel bad for Vegeta at those particular times. Vegeta kind of, he's under the weight of Frieza, but still at the same time he kind of put himself in kind of a box. The Saiyan culture box. But dang, but now he's out of it pretty much, and he's saved lives and he's done good things and he's put in the work. But he's still, he's still an asshole, but he's a nice asshole. He's the greatest anti-hero of all time, asshole. So that's all right. But and he's crossed that mountain. And Big Sean's playing in the background, right? and he's kicking Goku across the screen, and he's talking shit to everybody, and he's flexing, and he's in shape, and he got Boomer on the team. He's got a kid now. He's a dad now. He's gold. He's by all measures he's stronger than Goku. And he's reclaimed everything that he's pretty much figured he did literally lose, or he figured that was taken from him. And maybe on exaggeration, but regardless, the man gets everything back for an episode and a half. But then what happens? Android 18, right? This chick, Android. And who knows where the androids are? We'll get into this later, but there's been some talk about them being part human and things like that, but still, when they show up, there's really no hint to that, not even really subtextually, in my opinion. So when they show up in the context of the actual anime, they are portrayed, in my opinion, I could be wrong, as just straight mechanical beings of creation, and she just happens to look like what she looks like. Vegeta has no reason to believe anything otherwise. And I think if Vegeta would have known that, it wouldn't have hurt so bad. But still, to get beat up by a chick robot. Sorry, Vegeta. After everything he's done up until this point, the massive amount of work and strife and struggle and climbing the hill and going back in the valley and climbing the hill and going back in the valley. At this point, you want to be done with the valley, right? But here we are, shot back into the valley, not even faster than probably any time, but deeper than any time because of how high we were, before Android 18, and Vegeta having the pride. And at this point, it's all verified. It's all in gold. It's all stamped. It's all Super Saiyan stamped. So all the pride and the stuff that he had before was kind of always inflated, right? It was really nothing, like no gold behind it. It was just paper money. But to that point, for the most part, at least that's how we discussed when he was on Earth. But now there's gold back in this cash, right? So it's legitimate, and that's probably what made it hurt even worse. Vegeta takes some pretty vicious ass whoopings throughout the series. In this ass whooping is not necessarily as vicious as the ass whoopings he took him physically, but this ass whooping from Android 18 probably was the most single devastating thing that could happen to him, and he never recovers, in my opinion, from this. And this particular fight leads him to make even more of a mistake, all because of the bad taste this fight left in his mouth. Deadly Beauty, right? And it probably seems so unfair and so out of time, and just like it's would I really sit down and try to empathize with Vegeta about this? It hurts my soul, because we love Vegeta on this project. Vegeta again is the beginning of all this, and I hate to see his descent like this because this is what it is. If we look at from season 1 to 6, as and that's the scope that we're doing for this particular for this on this particular project for Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta is a tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's not a success story for the most part. The success happened in was what's happening in Vegeta 3.5 and Vegeta 4 and Vegeta 4.5 now. Now now we're just at a point to where it's rough. It's rough for the guy, and it only gets more rough because of how this particular ass whooping attacked his who he is, his spirit and his pride, his body. We already discussed, no homo, how Vegeta body operates. He's the most physically talented in the whole series, hands down, in my opinion. I mean, I know you can put Goku in there, but I mean, I think physically, resiliency, tenacity, bounce backity, he's the best in the series. His vitality, his endurance is the best in the series, and we see that all the way up to the training, and that's what makes it so difficult. Because Android 18 makes quick work of him. She's it's cat and mouse. She's playing with him before she eats him. Like in and Vegeta being, born on planet Vegeta and being a legitimate prince at this point, like, as we said, backed by gold at this point, it's official now, like and again, Big Sean is playing in the background. It's all lit, he's flexing and it's all lit. It's all good. He comes in and crushes Android 19. I believe he could have crushed Android 20. Piccolo's a hater, Krillin's a hater, but he's shitting on them, and he's doing his thing. And he's put in so much work, and just for it to all be taken away so quickly, and just having to be brushed aside so easily by something that was, so unnatural. We'll get to the unnaturalness of the whole androids and Cell. We'll get into all that. It had to be devastating. It had to be absolutely devastating. It was just the worst timing. It was just the worst. It was just the worst timing ever. And Vegeta being as official as he was at this point, again, it wasn't paper, didn't see it coming. Didn't see this coming at all. At all. It was the worst possible timing for this to happen. And and it's sad rewatching all these and seeing the descent of the prince at this point, because it's just a snowball. It's just an avalanche effect at this point. It's a domino effect at this point, because this ass whooping is probably the single most devastating thing that happens to him in the whole series, and it leads him to make probably the single most devastating mistake that he makes in the whole series. I don't because if he doesn't lose this fight the way he does, he doesn't make that decision. That we're going to talk about in the last episode of Vegeta. He doesn't make that decision. It's the residual effect and the damage that this fight had on his whole psyche that made him make that decision. That made him feel like he had to prove himself, reprove himself, or gain some kind of retribution. Um, against Cell, and it's unfortunate, So he never ever recovers from this fight. He never ever recovers from this fight, from series from to the end of the Cell saga. This fight was the worst thing that could happen to him, and he's not the same. He's not the same after this fight. He's not the same after this fight, and it's very regrettable. It's very unfortunate, but we love Vegeta, and we're just trying to keep it pushing. One of my favorite Vegeta moments is after this fight, honestly, and it shows the iron will, the titanium will this man has, because this is probably the single most mental ass whooping that he takes. Again, it's not that vicious. He takes way more vicious ass whooping physically. His visit to Earth, that was he got his ass lit on fire. When Frieza got hold to him, Frieza lit his ass on fire. trying to think of some other things. The Raccoon fight was pretty vicious physically. And even though the Frieza fight was probably just as much up there though as far as mentally and spiritually is concerned, um, Vegeta, that was a different situation. That was a different Vegeta. The variables were different, you know. Um, so he knew going in that Frieza still was going to be a long shot, and he thought he had it figured out, but he didn't. And then and Goku came in and kind of helped out a little bit, to kind of quell that pain for the moment. When it comes to Android 18, there was none of that shit going on. Vegeta, was flexing on everybody, and he was on top, and there was no contingencies to his training regime, his power, his status. But then, so it was just the worst. It was the worst possible time, and probably the most vicious whooping he takes mentally. Because again, physically this is not that bad. I mean, even though the kick, the kick does look pretty bad, but still, I think he takes way worse damages in other fights. Even um, maybe even in the Cell fight, the first Cell fight after Cell goes perfect, I think he takes even more damage. It's just, but the Android saga was terrible for Vegeta. It was absolutely terrible for Vegeta. After Android 19, it just gets bad. It just gets bad, and it sucks, man, because we're past the point where we have anything good to say about Vegeta. But again, I'm sorry, I digressed. That's not true. This is the last good thing we have to say about Vegeta, and that's his time after this fight, his time in the rain, his time before the hyperbolic time chamber, his time probably in the hyperbolic time chamber. Because, I guess I'm skipping ahead to the next episode a little bit, but Vegeta in that gains everything he needs to make up for not even just this fight, but everything previous. But this fight was so bad. This fight left such a bad mark on his behind that he wanted to do everything he could to erase it, and that involved giving Cell doing something completely ill advised, giving Cell opportunity to do what he did, and but in the rain, Vegeta picks himself back up after this. Still, even after the most devastating loss of his career, he still tries again. He stands in the rain. He doesn't sleep or move or eat. Doesn't see Buma for like 3 or 4 days. He stands in one spot. That's how devastating this loss was, and that's how ill-timed this loss was. It was like, damn, I only got 2 episodes. I mean, no, fuck that. It was only an episode and a half. And now what? What I gotta do? How can I ever get through? This is not fair. This sucks. Then he goes on to say, maybe I'm not who I thought I was, or maybe I'm not really the prince, and maybe I'm just like a low level Super Saiyan, or not even really a real Super Saiyan. He had all this doubt is there. I mean, and it makes sense. And I think in that particular instance, Vegeta really falls into a lot of our pocket as far as we've all been in there. We've all been in that, and we've all been in that scene. We've all been Vegeta at that point in time. All of us has probably been Vegeta, doing backflips and 450 times gravity, and Gallic guns, and beasting around, alien planets and stuff like that. But all of us probably have been in that rain, in that doubt, in that insecurity, in that defeat, in that wondering of self and self-worth, and then Vegeta through it all, even before Goku shows up with the hyperbolic time chamber, is like, all right, look, we can still do this. Maybe I need to push a little harder. Maybe I need to push forward a little bit more. That loss did suck, but we learned a lot from our losses. More, and I think we learned more from our losses than we learned from our wins. And Vegeta in the rain is a perfect animation of that. And he goes to the hyperbolic challenge chamber. He accomplishes what he sets out to do. he reaches that level. He gets past this. He if you know on the surface he gets past this fight, but still mentally, I guess it was just that deep. And spiritually, it was just that deep to where it was just too much, and and it forced him to make a bad decision that ultimately seals his fate. But as a character for the first six seasons, so that's the next Vegeta, and then I guess the next Vegeta is the last Vegeta. So enjoy the AMV. Shout out to Vegeta always, still regardless, of this descent until his his final fate. But hopefully we did Vegeta right up to this point, and hopefully we can finish off Vegeta, with a bang and still with some good thoughts. Don't let this ruin, don't let this whole Android saga, fiasco, mess up with how you feel about not even one of the greatest anti-heroes, not even the greatest anti-hero of all time, but just one of the greatest characters in general of all time, one of the greatest fictional men of all time. So there you have it. We give Vegeta's much maligned, but still, even after this fight again, he picks himself up. So anyways, there you have it. World Cheated Boy, the World Cheated Project, AMV all day coming up, Rosary all day, all day. Also, road work. Take care of yourselves. Do whatever you can to make you happy. Life is too short. And everything in its place. Everything in its place. Everything for a reason. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Don't dwell on things that you can't change. Don't, chase after things that aren't yielding any fruit. And again, there is a will that plays out, and everything happens for the reason. Everything happens for the good. So everything in its place. And everything for a reason. So, and there's a time for everything, I guess. It's all about timing. So we'll get into all of that. Take care of yourselves, level up, and we'll see you next time. The World Cheated Project. Thank you so much. Also, subscribe if you haven't. The podcast is live. We are also on Vimeo. Got some stuff on there as well. So we're moving and grooving. Again, please take care of yourselves. Visit me on all those platforms, iTunes for the podcast, Vimeo, Twitter. Always hit me up on Twitter, please. You got any questions, any suggestions on anime that I should do next, or whatever you got as far as the project is concerned, I would love to hear from you. And anyways, thank you so much. Again, the Level Up team, and we'll see you next time.
Shout out to Marvin Gaye. Love you, then I hate you, then I love you again. Hate you, then I love you, then I hate you again. Lord.
Hold me tight, let me go. In my heart, hurt my soul.
You'll never ever know your soul. Never know your heart.
Make me smile, make me frown.
Ain't no love in the heart of the city, this is what they tell me. Shit, I'm just waiting on somebody to show me.
Give me love, take it all away.
Just waiting on somebody to show me. Yeah, ain't no love in the heart of the city, that's what they tell me. Beef with over 100 niggas, don't none of them know me. Son of a mother studying at UDC, sitting in taxi cabs with daddy roaming the streets. 7 hallelujahs, my sultana was clean. On everything I wear it, all the American tees. This 06 the most prolific in the DMV. Listen, when you get the keys to sell them, you don't get the beef. Make a nigga one, get the piece to get the piece. You gon' need more than Wikipedia to get to me. PG to Mo County, bet they all know about me. Every hood, every burb, I got superb balance. From the city that made me love you forever for it. Hope you celebrate every moment forever and know it. You made me what I am, you made me what I'm not. They gon' love you a little different when you at the top. Work, give me love, baby. Not enough, just a touch, baby. What the fuck, baby? This is us, baby. This ain't right, this is life, this is love, baby. What's up? Give me love, baby. Not enough, just a touch, baby. What the fuck, baby? It's just us, baby. This ain't right, this is life, this is love, everything. In the end, love.
Hold me tight, let me go. In my heart, hurt my soul. Build me up, break me down.
grows as the city gets cold. As you reaching your goals, you gon' meet you some foes. Having dinner with Leonis I'm dreaming to own. But for now, me and my homies see the bottom float. I'm trying to redefine the culture, renovate the soul. Women in town, but I'm manifesting every goal. I see potential in John, talk to him once a week. Media targets in our city and this week. I lost a lot of friends, and they ain't even dead. When I was on my way up, why you ain't see the stairs? Lord Father, if I opted to follow them, my heart would tear for my dreams, let me know that you here. And it's weird when I'm anywhere with too many heads. Niggas jealous and never tell it until they stare. How could you blame us, envy? We do the same thing for a living, know the same niggas, but they all commend me. Champagne, I'ma spill it till we all fill up. Maybe it stopped me from giving a fuck about opinions, and probably not, but I'm temporarily out of physics and tell the postally propaganda to politicians.
Hold me tight.